Welcome to the 500th episode of OurTime. Hello, I'm Lauren Hillman, the General Manager of Channel 44 in Adelaide. On the 25th of October 2010, the very first episode of OurTime was recorded right here in the studios of the McGill campus of UniSA. The show was the brainchild of ex-Channel 9 and ABC director John Gall. The original hosts were Robbie Roenfeld and Debbie Beebe, later joined by Janice Speical. Local TV personality Malcolm Haslett became host after episode 39, and then upon the unexpected passing of producer and director John Gall, Malcolm also stepped into the role of producer of the show and has never missed a program since. Spanning over 12 years, OurTime has presented the widest selection of guests from an incredibly broad and interesting range of backgrounds, providing advice, support, information, music and entertainment to our audiences. We have learnt to expect the unexpected as over 1,600 guests vary from young achievers to retirees, all with great life stories to tell. What a milestone to reach 500 episodes, with OurTime now officially being the longest running program on Channel 44 Adelaide. Congratulations also to Malcolm, who is still gracing our screens after almost 60 years and still going strong. Here's to the next 500. Long live OurTime and community TV.
And hello and welcome. I can't believe there are 500 episodes. Lauren, thank you so much for being with us in this show, because it is a special show. It's special in Adelaide television, and it's special because we really have connected with so many people over the years that would never have got a chance to air their stories on free-to-air television.
Thank you very much for having me, Malcolm.
But it's thank you to you, because without you and without the Melbourne station as well, Channel 31 in Melbourne, this wouldn't have happened either, because there was such a challenge over the last 10 years. What actually happened? Why did the government decide to pull the plug?
Well, in the end, they haven't pulled the plug.
I know.
But can I just start by saying what an honour to be here for this very special, momentous occasion, 500 episodes. You know, I feel very honoured, and, you know, everyone in this room, what a great, exciting night to be celebrating, not only for OurTime, but for community TV.
Well, we'll meet the crew in a minute, and they've all dressed up for tonight, which I'm thrilled about. And we have two extraordinary special guests who are coming up in the program, because we have a special 1 hour show thanks to you. Shane in Melbourne, the station manager in Melbourne, I met him a couple of weeks ago, and we were just talking about that this is a momentous thing. It's not the longest running show on community television, however.
No, that's right, and I can't remember the name of the show in Melbourne, but there's a couple of shows that have been going a little bit longer, because community TV in Melbourne, Channel 31's been going for a little bit longer than Adelaide, so it's nudging on 30 years in Melbourne. You
know, I hate short runs of shows. In my lifetime, I've done very long runs of nearly everything, but I never thought I'd still be doing television at this point of life. However, just getting back to you, your background in TV is quite interesting.
It is. I've been very fortunate to actually have a career in television in Adelaide, which, you know, is a rarity. And I think I just sort of followed the right pathways, and I've found myself here. But, you know, I've been a director producer for the ABC. I've also been a series producer for Channel 9, and for the last nearly 8 years, I've been at the helm of Channel 44.
Did you realise when you took over what a challenge this would be?
No, I definitely didn't realise what a challenge. And at times I think, you know, my nearest and dearest had said to me, you know, they didn't quite know what I'd be in for, and said, is this the right pathway that you want to take? Because I never imagined that I would spend almost 8 years lobbying, rallying and advocating politicians.
And having two children.
And having
at
two
the same
children.
time.
I know I say that I've got 3 babies. I've got Channel 44 and my 2 beautiful children, who are now 2 and 4.
Yes, exactly. All through that period, you must have just gone crazy.
It was a pretty intense time, but you know what, I think I held on because I just knew the value that community TV provides, and I'm really proud that we did. And there's certainly no iron team. I didn't do it alone, and Shane in Melbourne would credit his team as well. I've got an incredible team behind me, and not just my team. There's, you know, the broader community TV community, whether it's, you know, the volunteers or the program makers or the partners, or, you know, and they've all really supported us over the past 8 years, and that's why we're still here.
The thing I think, though, that's so valuable for you watching is that the diversity that you get on community television is not the same as what seems to be now on free-to-air. Unfortunately, they're just one reality show after another. The sad thing is that the shows that introduce singers, for example, they're all competitions. We can't just sit back and enjoy somebody's performance for what it's worth anymore. But your diversity, from fishing to outback on vehicles bumping around in the outback of Australia, to programs like this, to variety shows that I'm seeing coming through from Melbourne, to LGBT, that one, QI. It's just fascinating to see the diversity of humankind that populate this country of ours.
I think we're really lucky, and I think, you know, also there's things like church services and, I mean, local arts festivals, and I think, you know, the commercial channels, like you just mentioned, they're not going to pick up those programs. And I mean, I think community TV is the home and is the place to showcase that really hyper-local content. And I think that's why there's still such a love for community TV. And even though there's only community TV in Adelaide and Melbourne left, now with the change of government, you know, the future's looking very bright. So, you know, never say never to community TV getting a resurgence in the other states, hopefully.
My goodness, we've got 500 episodes. We could play this forever.
Absolutely.
If you go nationally again.
Yeah, that's right.
But one of the great things here in Adelaide is, for example, your coverage of the Fringe and some of the things that the general public would never get an opportunity to see. Like, I attended one of the lectures from the people that run Gluttony, for example, and you were there and you were broadcasting their conversation, which was so beneficial to program producers and directors who would, in the future, hopefully, put their product into the Fringe. For example, the church services during COVID, that would never have happened. The Fringe parades, they would never have happened. And the fact that local service organisations can actually get you to come along and televise their special event that, again, the general public would never get a chance to see. This community television thing is just so valuable. But it does take me back to the beginnings of TV here in Adelaide, because, and the same in Melbourne, because there were programs that were about local people. People would go out to see the local stars that were on TV. It pulled a whole community together, which it doesn't really do anymore, which is a bit of a shame.
I agree, and I grew up in the 80s, and I watched a lot of that TV, and that was, you know, you watched one of the 4 channels, and those were the programs that people talk fondly about, those water cooler chats around, you know, certain programs and, you know, family entertainment, and those programs they've long gone now, and you're right. And I think the market, the whole media landscape has changed, and I think, you know, obviously the streaming services have played a big part in that. We have too much choice now of what we want to watch.
But they're not. They don't inform us about, and we can't see the people who live in the cities that we live in.
That's right.
And if it's all about somewhere else, because I still teach a little bit, I get frustrated with kids saying XYZ because of the American influence. And the letter Z actually comes from the Greek, so it's something to understand. And why it became Z is because in the Middle America they couldn't say Z, so Z was easier to say, like C, because they were European settlers. Little things like that. We're just sort of losing the way we speak locally and so on. I mean, here in Adelaide we say dance, and in Melbourne you say dance. Little local things that just say, oh, I know where that comes from because of the way people are talking.
Yeah, I think community TV is very relatable, and I think there's something really nice about being able to switch over if you even discover it by accident, because that's the other thing. I mean, people aren't watching a lot of free-to-air TV anymore, but the ones who are watching free-to-air TV, to turn over and to see a really local program produced locally, there's something that resonates with a lot of people, and they want to stay, they want to find out.
Exactly.
You know.
And with real people they can actually see in the street.
Yeah,
Which we might relate the story later with two of the guests that we've got coming up tonight or on this program. Lauren, thank you so much for being with us. Stay with us till the end.
Thank you, I will.
So you can meet all the crew and everyone can meet the crew. And we'll be back with the woman, I can say, who's won more Logies than any other performer in Australia. Who is it? Stay with us.
Hi, it's Mark Tremlett here, and I'd like to wish Our Time a happy 500th episode. Congratulations to all the cast and the crew.
Hi, I'm Dr. Susan Bell-Perriot. I'm a retired anaesthetist and currently I'm a photographer. And I would just like to say congratulations to Malcolm and to Our Time for reaching the amazing milestone of its 500th show.
Hi there, I'm Libby O'Donovan, and a big congratulations to the show Our Time for their 500th show that they have produced, all of the many fabulous people who have worked on it. I mean, really, this show has lasted longer than most marriages, so well done.
I'm Terry Lindblom, I'm an Adelaide entertainment agent from Vegas Promotions, and I'd just like to congratulate Malcolm and all the team on Our Time for their 500th show, which is coming up very shortly.
And welcome back to Our Time and to our lovely studio audience. And we've got a studio audience because we've got Anne Wills.
Hello. Hello. Oh, adoring fans.
Adoring
Look, all four
fans.
of them. Yes.
I can't start this segment without talking about this.
Yes.
Which is one of the 19 Logies you've won.
Yes, I forget that one's name, but it never comes when I call it, so I have stopped naming them.
Actually, it does say something there. If only I had glasses.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it says.
If only I had glasses. Oh, sorry, I'll just keep turning that round till I get it right.
Oh, look.
Oh, that's the
isn't
back
it?
of it. Hang on.
Yes.
There's the front of it.
Whatever it's made out of, it's very, very heavy.
It's very heavy. Good on the door.
Well, and good murder weapon, I've always thought.
Okay.
You know.
So what do you do with 19 Logies?
Well, you have them right near the front door that no one misses them. That's, you know.
And the funny thing is that I knew you before you knew me, I think, because I was the singer at the Wonderland Ballroom.
That's
And I
right.
recall this night, and we've just talked about this recently, when Bob Christie, who owned the Wonderland Ballroom, wanted some extra promotion for the ballroom. And so he found you somewhere.
Oh, I think the telethon office found him.
Oh, they found him,
Yes.
right.
Yes,
And I remember you coming to the ballroom one Friday night and being introduced, and we as the singers had to sit on a chair like this, smiling at everyone dancing past, and then we'd stand up and sing into the microphone, and then we'd sit down again. And we weren't allowed to stand up, it was just you, and he introduced you, and then you sailed off into the ballroom and never saw you again. And then
Almost into oblivion.
Well,
yes.
But no.
I was
'cause
Miss Wonderland Ballroom.
You
and
were.
I had to raise £50 because that was 1964. We didn't have
Yes.
decimal. It took a lot of chicken raffles and stuff like that. You know.
with your family and your mum, who were just wonderful.
Yes, yes, doing all the sewing, you know, and I've inherited that part. But that was fun because I was in Miss Telethon Quest 1964 as Miss Wonderland Ballroom. 64, I forget who, I think it was Miss Enfield Hotel.
Yeah, it was
and then I got
organised.
asked to do the weather in 1965 and
But that was
it.
a curious thing that happened. Tell us the story about that, because it's wonderful.
It's a true story. I mean, I've had all my friends knew that I wanted to be a film star, not just, you know, television was only going to be here a little while, but movies are going to be here forever. So I was selling the lunch tickets at the Rundle Hotel in Rundle Street, Adelaide, and I got this call in 1965 from Mr. Rex Heading from Channel 9, and he said, "We'd like you to come in tomorrow and audition to do our weather." I said, "Yeah, sure, what time?" 3 o'clock. Well, I didn't go because I'm not stupid, Malcolm. I knew it was somebody that was a mate of mine playing a gag, so I didn't go. Well, I got the irate phone call that next afternoon. Why didn't you turn up? I said, who is this really? I had to backpedal and I found out it really was a guy from Channel 9. So I rang back. Anyway, they showed a lot of patience and they gave me another test the next day. And honestly, it was so bad, that audition, the other girls that they auditioned must have been really horrible. Because I got it.
I would think your personality came out though.
No, what did come out was I had a cold sore on my... It went from this nostril to that lip, had its own postcode, it was so big. And it was just horrible, this big black thing, and I didn't wear makeup. And the first thing they made me read on an idiot sheet was instability of a maritime origin. Whatever that means, that was weather talk, you know. And I fought them tooth and nail from that point on. Can I talk like real people? Do I have to use that jargon? Because it's unusual.
Well, things that people don't realise is you had a glass screen with the map of Australia on it, and you wrote on it behind the screen,
yes,
which meant it would have been backwards to the viewers at home. So what did they do? Well,
in that black and white days, they would do what they called reversing the scans, and they would flip the photograph, the picture that you were seeing at home, so it looked like I'm writing left-handed backwards.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
And people to this day saying, suppose that's how you got the job, because you could write left-handed and backwards. Yes, that was it. You know? But they couldn't do it with colour.
Yeah, don't give away all the
no secrets.
And you said idiot sheet. See, these days we have it written up on the screen in front of us, so it's very easy to see.
Absolutely.
But it used to be held beside the lens of the camera, so you'd have to sort of half look at the camera and half. So you had one eye there and one eye there. It was very confusing to the people at home, particularly was it as close up as this is at the moment.
Yes, well, yes, an XCU.
Yes, an XCU. It's
up.
TV talk.
Yes, exactly.
So what happened next for you? Because you're doing the weather every night, and you did some crazy things. You wore bikinis, you dressed in unusual clothes.
Oh, look, you know, 1966 when I wore the bikini, I said, if it gets to 100 degrees, I'll wear a bikini. Because to me, it would only be 100 degrees on the weekend. Why would it do that on a week?
You only did weekdays.
Yes, you know, and I thought that wasn't going to happen, but it did. Caused a bit of a sensation, but the bikini that I wore had an 8-inch side, so you know it was just showing.
It was a high-waisted version.
Yes, it was modest, but it still caused a sensation.
And then Ernie Sigley was sort of the big star at the time with the Tonight Show here in South Australia. He then went to Melbourne, of course, and did the same thing there before Don Lane took over.
Yes,
for people that remember. How did he recognise your particular sense of humour?
Well, he was, I'm trying to think back, 1967, and he had a couple of nights show doing Adelaide Tonight, which was, you were talking earlier with Lauren, how you have people who are working at the Enfield Hotel, the Rex Hotel, the Tonsley, all of the chain of hotels in Adelaide.
And they were touring the world, famous stars.
World famous, you know, Tommy Tico, people, all the English stars that were stars, they would come out, they would do an Adelaide Tonight spot and then go back to the hotel and do their spot there.
Yeah.
And he had a different wheel girl on doing the Wheel of Fortune part at halfway through the show. And I saw him in the studio one day as I was walking through to go and do the weather, and I said, Mr. Sigley, I'd love to do the weather with you or do the wheel with you. He said, okay. Anyway, a couple of weeks went past and I kept reminding him, hello, remember me? So finally, okay, come in on Wednesday. And so I walked out and he said, hello, Wilsey. Well, I hadn't been called Wilsey till that particular night.
So he named you?
He named me Wilsey.
Gave you a nickname.
He said, hello, Wilsey. How are things? And I said straight away, mine are good. How are yours? And that was it. So then when he explained to the audience, I'm going to use Wilsey as my regular wheel girl, the producer, Ron Christie, who's just off screen, too late. So,
had all these girls lined up?
Yeah, he did. Poor things.
In more ways than one. TV in those days, though, was pretty exciting, wasn't it? It was Hollywood, same as in Melbourne. It was Hollywood around those studios because
everything was live.
Yeah, and the most famous people from the world were coming through. You never knew who you were going to get or what they were going to say.
Yeah.
Because there was actually no rehearsal for the talking bits, was there?
Oh, none. You know, you just go out there and please make sure we don't make too big a mess of it, because it was
And
live.
you couldn't swear. There was no swearing in those days.
That was hard, but we got through it.
My fondest memory of you, though, from those earliest days for me was I just started working at Nine, working with Humphrey Bear. And I was standing right in the middle of Studio 1, which was the biggest studio
one
in Adelaide. And you walked across the floor and you saw me and you said, "Oh, hello, darling. Welcome to Channel 9. And I've always remembered that because that is the key to your personality. You are the most generous person I think I have ever met. Both in the time that you spend with people, but also the time you spent with fans over the years, and the genuine warmth and joy you've brought to so many people, both through the screen and face to face.
That's very kind of you to say so.
$100, please.
Yeah, I'll pay you later. Yeah, but I've been very lucky that all of this happened in Adelaide. I'm convinced had it been Melbourne or Sydney, in Adelaide I was a sort of a largish frog in a smallish pond. It would have been the other way around if I was in Sydney or Melbourne.
True. That's hard to tell because your personality really just went voomp through the screen.
Well, I was very lucky in the fact that I was allowed to be myself. That is number one,
But isn't that the truth for anyone? The public will only warm to you if they know
genuine.
who you actually are.
Yeah, yes.
You can spot a phony a mile off.
Yeah. What I'm loving about the television, especially here, is the amount of ladies that you have working on the crew.
We have a female floor manager.
Well, absolutely. No one, when you had no ladies doing anything.
No, that's true.
You've got audio, you've got camera, you've got floor manager. It's wonderful. So, yay, ladies forever.
I've never really seen the difference, to be honest. Well, I mean, the obvious difference we all can see. But I've never quite seen the difference between women doing the work or men doing the work.
No, neither have I.
Because we've worked with men and women our whole life.
Yeah.
And admittedly, some of them haven't been in the position that our lovely girl here is. But, yeah, it's funny, isn't it, that television took a while to catch up, but we didn't.
In the 60s, it was very male-oriented. And I was a female in the male-oriented industry. And so, there was a glass ceiling, a very, very low glass ceiling, I can tell you. But it's changed now, thank goodness, and that's why we're getting the quality we get.
The joy for you, though, is you spent so long interviewing famous people, mostly movie stars, on TV. Just drop a few of the names of the shows you had. There was Movie Scene.
Started off as Clapperboard.
Clapperboard, yes.
On Channel 9 in a long time ago, 79, 80. And then I went to Channel 10 and it became Movie Scene. And then finished up at Channel 9, it was called Close Up with Wilsey.
And in the meantime, you did daytime hostings. I still remember you before I came in to do my show in the afternoon, you'd have material all over the floor. The sewing machine would be on the news desk. You'd be madly cutting something out, making something for Adelaide Tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you did morning shows for a long time, and I certainly have got a lot of interviews between you and me promoting everything from lounge chairs to shows that we were in.
Well, we used to do skits on Adelaide Tonight, you and I. We were always the go-to people falling back.
We might just insert that sketch between you and me.
The one in bed?
The one in bed.
It's the one I remember.
Oh, George, this is a wonderful room. Do you know, it's the very room that we spent our honeymoon in 20 years ago. Hey, George, why don't we pretend that it's our honeymoon, and why don't you nibble my ear and give me little love bites on my neck like you did on our wedding night? Oh, come on, George, nibble my ear and bite my neck, give little love bites all over my neck like we did 20 years ago.
All right, love.
Well, George, where are you going?
I just go to the bathroom to get my teeth.
Look, we've got to take a break, and we'll be back with one of the most recognisable faces in Australia at the moment on TV, who won't look like that at all. In a tick. We'll be back.
Hello, it's Deanna Wallace here. I'm the fourth generation of the Wallace cinema family. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here with the crew and Malcolm for Our Time, and congratulations to the team on your 500th episode. What an amazing achievement for a local television show. Keep up the great work and keep on tuning in.
Hello, I'm Patrick Frost, recently a guest on Our Time with the wonderful Malcolm Haslett. And I'm so pleased to be here to say congratulations to Malcolm and all the crew on Our Time for their 500th episode. What a wonderful achievement. It was a privilege to be on this show because I've been an admirer of Malcolm for more than 50 years, I'm sure, since I first met him on Here's Humphrey all those years ago.
Hi, I'm David Marino, Principal of Kapunda High School. I want to say a really big congratulations to Malcolm and the crew on 500 episodes of Our Time. Congratulations.
Hi, my name's Lena Limazani. I'm a contemporary dancer and choreographer. I'd like to just wish everybody a big congratulations for their 500th episode of Our Time.
And welcome back to Our Time. As I said before the break, it's a man who's now launching ships all around Australia, who's been on breakfast television so many times. He's almost taken over from all of the presenters on the shows, because he always does take over, and hopefully he will now. Matt Gilbertson, welcome.
Willsy. I've just got a glimpse at everybody's costumes. They look like the Big Bird Bandits, don't they?
Fantastic.
They're looking very...
First time the crew's all dressed up.
I know,
and it's just
exciting.
For you.
I'm very
Now,
touched.
we talked about 3 months ago, just before you did the most amazing show I have ever seen here in South Australia.
You need to see more shows. Didn't you go to see 6? That was pretty good.
I did.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
I thought you were better than 6.
Wow.
Yeah, me too.
Well, okay, all right.
And I actually saw Frozen.
Yeah, what do you think of Frozen?
I thought you were better than Frozen.
Okay, I would like a bit of a whip-off costume thing. So there is one thing I could take from it.
Invest
in Velcro.
We were hoping that tonight your mum could make it, but she's not well. So your mum is your costumier of the star.
She is.
Because we're not talking about you, we're talking about Hans.
Yes.
How often do you ever appear as yourself?
Only on this. It's an Our Time exclusive. It is. I would only do it for you.
Well, thank you so much, and for Lauren.
Well, not really for her.
You are God's son, father to the son.
I am. Yeah, they look up to me.
So, they have to. You're so tall. So we talked about the show before it happened. Mm-hmm. It cost more than your house.
Yeah. Well, I do live in a shitty neighbourhood.
But Matt, this is what a lot of people don't realise, that these days, as a performer, so often you actually have to say, I'm going to put myself on the line, I'm going to prove I've got it, and you did.
Yes.
This was a show with enormous video screens up the back, 6 dancers, 20-piece orchestra, harp, and you played the piano like I don't think people realised you had the ability to do.
Well, I mean, look, if they missed out, we're probably going to do it again next year. So
I think that would be extremely wise.
Okay.
The number of people that have said, oh, we really wanted to see that, but it was only on for a few shows and was at the end of the fringe and.
Got to be organised, right?
But look, we're not in the situation of being able to promote other people's shows and things, but I've got to say, as a South Australian, I was extremely proud to sit there at your dress rehearsal next to your mum.
Yes.
She was saying to me all the time, which was fantastic. But
she gave you the inside scoop?
I got everything.
Okay.
But I was so impressed with the diversity of what you did, how you put the piece together. It was truly a Las Vegas show in Adelaide.
On a Hindley Street budget.
Not sure about that. You could see money coming at you from the stage the whole time.
But it was just stunning to think that this was Vegas in Adelaide.
It was.
It absolutely
was.
Well, yeah, that's what we wanted. We wanted it to be, we hadn't done a new show for a while, and it had been COVID, and everything was coming back. So we were like, "Come on, let's just go for it."
But it was more than that, because I've watched your career for a long period of time. I've even got one of your shows you did at my theatre on videotape, which I've got to show you sometime.
I know.
But it's really interesting to watch your career from working in the nightclub, which was called
the Weimar Room,
right? When you were just a teenager, to what you're now doing.
Well, I'm still just a teenager. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All?
And I can't believe after all that time and 500 episodes later, Your hair has stayed the same, Malcolm.
I know.
It's amazing.
It is.
It is.
I
That's the
found-
biggest,
Yes, it
mystery
is.
of this
No, it's
whole
not.
journey.
It's about a bottle that big.
Is-
Yes.
I don't know if I want to know all these secrets.
No,
No.
Oh, you'll be spraying yours on soon anyway. won't you?
My natural colour is white.
Is it?
Very.
Is
Mine
it?
is too.
Very white.
That's right, because I remember that Christmas party when you were doing nude cartwheels.
No, yes.
Yeah.
What?
We had that at your house.
Now, listen, your show isn't full of those things. It's full of a whole lot more. But your political humour is terrific.
Well, I'm a little bit scared with the change of government that there might not be as much to make fun of. But Michaelia Cash is still there.
Give them a couple of weeks.
So, yeah,
Couple
exactly,
of weeks,
exactly. And,
and there'll be stuff.
Albo, look, I'm sure he's going to put his foot into it somewhere along the line. So,
They're difficult times we're going to be living in the next few years financially, but it's very frustrating because that's all we hear at the moment from news services is this constant thing of how tough it's going to be. So we all just need to get on and live our lives. Like, in fact, you've just done, because you've just come back from all these cruises.
Well, yes, I did the first cruise ship back out of Australia on Pacific Explorer.
And did you?
They all sound like a horror movie, don't they? Explorer, Adventure, or Indiana Jones or something, right?
I believe it was a bit like that because it was the first time back for everybody trying to find their sea legs, so to speak.
Yeah, no, it was an adventure, I'll say that. It was good fun, though. I think everybody was the audience were very grateful to be back. So, yeah, they were raring to go.
And you took a couple of your dancers with you?
I did.
One of whom's in the studio tonight, Charlie.
He's now my personal bodyguard.
Is he?
Yes, he doesn't know that, but...
he does now.
He does now, exactly. Actually, in the break, I've put him under a conservatorship.
Oh.
So it's like Britney Spears
Yes,
now.
right. I can understand why you'd need to do that.
Yeah.
So, Matt, as you've gone through your career, the fact that you've got onto so many channels, particularly in breakfast television, I laughed when I saw you on the ABC one morning. I thought, how did he crack that one?
The ABC's The Thinking Man's Sunrise, isn't it? Yeah. Look, actually, I've done all the breakfast TV shows now. And what I like is being able to plug the next one on the previous day. So if you're on Sunrise, you can just kind of say, well, see me on Studio 10 tomorrow. Yeah. I haven't dropped our time into it, though. I'm going to have to.
You'll have to do that now.
Next time, Koshi.
But the beauty of that is that actually says you are an Australian star.
Or maybe it says more about the lack of other people they've got.
No, don't downplay it. I've just noticed the colour of your hair too. That's changed slightly, talking of hair colour.
Hey, listen, this is, all natural. This is about as real as I am German.
Now, come on, don't let the bad... Where did that begin, the German thing?
At the Weimar Room.
Yes, but who made that happen?
Catherine Campbell, who's a wonderful performer.
She's been on our show and she actually lectures out here in the uni.
She does, and she's magnificent, and she saw me playing the accordion in the Central Market, and I was playing Communard's Don't Leave Me This Way. Ah, baby! And I think she did a double take when she realised what song it was and said, do you want to be in this German show every Friday? And the rest is history.
That's how it happened.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I think I met you on the first night that I ever
pretty much
performed
that,
there,
I think, yeah.
Which would have been 2003.
That's when I met you.
That's when I met you as well.
I was with a couple of friends and one of them said, he'll be good one day.
And we're still waiting for that day.
We're waiting for that day.
We are.
No. I think you've smashed
To be
through
fair,
that.
I know the friends you're talking about.
Yes.
They're a pack of bitches. So.
But they do speak well of you still.
Oh, well then, when this goes to air, we'll cut that out, all right?
Cut. Richard and Tony.
Oh, no, I was talking about somebody else.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
Of course you were. So, are you working on new stuff all the time? Are you finding new ways? Is it new material that you're just coming up with on the spot?
I think
where does it go?
Every
show's
this could be an opportunity. There's an opportunity in everything. I think, if you keep looking around, there's material everywhere. There's material in the audience. It's always a different, group of people each night. And that really helps.
But Matt, that's exactly the way to be successful. You have to understand to read the audience and you have to be able to change. Just saying, I saw a show the other night and everyone was phoning in a performance. They were fantastic performances, but because...
We're back on Frozen now.
I'm not saying... But the reality is, you're locked into a format that you cannot change.
Yeah.
You have to say that line on that spot because that light will come on and so on.
But I think that's the difference between, you know, a musical or a play and a cabaret
Absolutely.
show. I think a cabaret show needs the license to be able to, you know...
Absolutely.
And that's why I actually get annoyed when people call it a cabaret show when it's exactly the same every night.
Yes.
Because I don't think that's what it is.
No.
I think that could be a play with music
It's just a
or
it's a performance.
or a concert.
And
or
it's only ever going to happen that way once. That's the
what
beauty
I
of
think,
seeing a live
yeah.
show. I'm not knocking the other show. I thought the other show was fantastic. But I would prefer to see...
You have to tell us what it is in the ad break now.
It was a cold night.
Let me just say, Malcolm, let it go.
And we are going to let it go into a commercial break, and we'll be back in a tick.
Hello, I'm Adam Hooper and this is my brother Ben. We're from the Adelaide folk band Goldstein.
We'd like to say a big congratulations to the team at OurTime for 500 amazing episodes.
Hi, my name is Jim Dimitri from Barbara Grange, and I'm happy to say I've been cutting Malcolm's hair for 35 years and I congratulate him on this milestone.
Hi, it's Shane from Channel 31 Melbourne. On behalf of the whole team here at Channel 31, we'd like to wish Malcolm and the team at OurTime a very huge congratulations on 500 shows. Here's to 500 more.
Congratulations to OurTime for 500 episodes. Here's to another 500 more, hopefully solar powered.
We're back on this 500th episode of Our Time with our very special guests, 19 Logie winning...
What would you call me?
Recipient.
Just a Wilsey. Just a Wilsey.
Just a Wilsey.
Where there's a Wills.
There's a Logie.
Yeah.
And the amazing Matt Gilbertson, who really is just a Matt, aren't you? Not a Matthew.
I am,
I read
yes.
something about you today and they wrote Matthew,
Yeah.
and I thought they've got that wrong.
They do.
Oh,
It's
my
the
goodness.
80s.
Now, you've hosted TV shows all your life.
Yes. And look where it got me.
Well, it got you here
Yeah,
to the
exactly.
500th episode.
Yeah.
And you've taken over TV shows for most of the time you've been around. How hard is it to walk in and be that funny and that gregarious and outrageous?
Well, when you've got a costume on, it's like a totally different person.
Absolutely.
So you can do whatever you
So
want.
you really do play a character.
Yeah.
So,
I hope so.
Hans really isn't you?
I say honey a lot more when I'm Hans.
Yes.
Yeah. That's about probably it.
Right. Now, but there's this other side to your life. Where did that start, writing for the paper?
Well, that actually started pretty much from the Hans thing, because I was doing Hans on Nova as the gossip reporter, and then the gossip writer at the Sunday Mail was going on maternity leave, and I had heard that they were having a bit of trouble filling that position, so I kind of...
You filled in the position.
I did.
So to speak.
I did. Like Maria von Trapp.
You did. And I remember on my 60th birthday, which was at least 50...
You're not.
That's only last year.
Oh,
But
okay.
no, on my 60th birthday, 2004, I get a call from Hans in the morning, woke me up. And the lady said, oh, you know, it's Nova calling. And Hans comes on, and I thought, how lovely. He's going to say happy birthday. No, what he said was, hello, do you know... I can't do a German
That's
accent.
a great joke. That's almost as convincing
Nearly
as mine.
it's almost Italian. Do you know, now at your age you can travel on the bus for nothing. And then he hung up.
Happy birthday to you.
I didn't even get a happy birthday. And I thought, they're going to ring back and obviously say, oh, he's a happy birthday. No, that never happened. So I decided then I like him. He is my showbiz son.
Yes, well, see, that's what's really interesting, how like minds are inclined to attract. And I know you're best mates.
Yes.
How much has her career influenced you?
Well, I used to, you know, watch her every Sunday afternoon movie scene. I used to get very excited when it was Wilsey doing the weather, because I remember there was like a bit of crossover. Nuala was doing the weather for a while, and you were doing it like on weekends or something.
No, I was during the week. And
during the week, and she was on the weekends.
like
Yeah,
that.
I can't remember.
Yes,
You
neither
watched
can
it
I.
religiously. We
Yes.
understand.
Yeah, but it was always, you know, it was always like, what's she going to be wearing tonight?
Yes.
That was always what we were excited. What earrings is she going to be wearing?
Well, where did the earring thing start with you?
When I was 13 on Ocean Island, where I lived as a child with my family, and a lady turned up who was married to the leading civil engineer who was there to get the phosphate out of the rocks that Ocean Island was made of. And her name was Rhonda Burns, and she wore these big earrings, like lots of fruit and, you know, and I said to my mum, I want to do that at 13, and she said, it's going to be expensive. Oh, how true was that, you know, but it just, now I can't go anywhere, not even to the supermarket without a pair of earrings on.
Yes,
true.
Became a trademark.
You've seen the earring wall
On the bedroom.
You?
I was just about to say that, yes.
And
I have
that's
been in her bedroom.
Yes. It is. It's like the China,
It
the
is
Great
the
Wall
Great
of
Wall
China.
of China.
It is. But I love your story about Ocean Island, where you used to go and catch fish in the morning.
For my cats.
For the
yes.
cats for breakfast.
At 6 o'clock, Billy Muir, next door neighbour, and I would, that was our job. We had cats, we had quite a few cats, they had cats. Our job was to go down to the harbour wall, down at the boat harbour, and we had a hook made out of a bent needle, and on it, we didn't have bait. We made our own bait out of flour and water, and it became like a dough, and you'd stick that on, and you'd put it in, and just flick like that, and you'd get a little brim, a silver fish that big, come out.
What was the population of Ocean Island?
Altogether, 1,800 people, of which 180 were, well, it was mainly all native people working on the phosphate, and 180 white people.
But we've always known that you, of course, being the daughter of Queenie, was a princess of that island.
She made sure that we knew she was the princess, but I don't think she was. Because, you know, no crown.
But you became the princess.
I am now.
Yes,
you know,
of course.
I'm sort of like Harry and Meghan. I'm not really welcome there, but, you know.
She's the Meghan Markle of Ocean Island.
Yes. Matt, your family. Talk about your family. It's not just you.
No, I do have a family. I wasn't grown from a crystal. Is that what you want to know?
I wasn't going to go down that path.
Yes.
Because I've let that go in the last segment.
Okay, good. What's the question?
So your mum and dad. Your mum and dad.
Yep.
And
Joe and Pete.
Yes. And you have...
I have a younger brother and a younger sister, Holly and Jay.
And I've seen you all dressed in costumes from Sound of Music.
Yes, we do have
How did all
curtains.
that come across? Because your mum...
That was at my 30th birthday last year, and... Thank you.
I think the glasses are working.
Sound of Music theme. So, yeah, Mum got out the sewing machine, just like Maria, and made us all...
Was that the start of her making mad costumes for you?
No, that really started when I was kind of doing tap and jazz classes. So she,
she was making the costumes.
She was making the costumes then, and she's always,
And speaking of the tap and jazz... Now that you've incorporated so much dance in the show with dancers, and you keep up with them too, which is pretty amazing.
Well, I don't know. They were pretty good this year.
They were very
They can do
good
all the
this
flips and everything. I can't do that.
But you're working on it, right?
No.
Now, your big trick at the end of the night that everybody says he's not really doing this, he's not really doing this.
I'm still doing the splits across two chairs, and I will keep doing that until I can't walk.
So are you practicing this every day to keep loose?
No, but I do have to do a few more stretches beforehand now. Yes. I actually found a video of about 10 years ago, and I used to be able to do it kind of just, free. Now I have to hold Charlie's hand.
Yes,
He's there on hand to make sure I don't...
But that's only because the chairs aren't as sturdy as they used to be.
That's right. But it is actually quite dangerous.
It is.
When you see it, it's actually genuinely quite dangerous. Yeah. And we have to take another break.
Oh, what?
Congratulations on 500 episodes. It's an awesome, awesome record. 1,500 people brought to homes all over the place via the television. Well done on Our Time.
Hi, I'm Ian Polypolitis, and I just want to say congratulations to Malcolm and the crew at Our Time for their 500th episode. A fantastic effort. Keep local television going and stay tuned because it's a great show. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Sam Prest. I'm an artist and entertainer. I want to congratulate Malcolm and the crew here for 500 episodes here on Our Time, and tune in because I'm on next week.
And welcome back to Our Time. 500 episodes is a lot. We've no idea how many episodes you've done, Anne.
Of what?
In your
Of
career?
everything.
Of everything.
Oh, my
I
God.
know. Well, when I started, it was only steam-driven television. That's how old it was.
Pedal.
It was
Yeah.
printed on slate.
Oh, yes,
it
you
was,
know.
yes.
And it was black and white.
It was until 1975.
Yes, and one of the things we used to do when we were doing Adelaide Tonight, and we might maybe in the dressing room, and we might be out in the green room where they had a little telly, monitor, and we would guess what colour the guests were wearing. That was, and we'd
in
take
black
a
and
look at
white.
it. In black and white, I'd
Yes,
say,
of
I think it's a
course.
purple dress, and it was never
Were you
right.
okay?
Never right.
But also, I remember the couch that they had on Adelaide Tonight. There were so many colours on the set
I
that
know.
in black and white even it looked like.
I know, it was
Yes.
too much, exactly.
They did try, but I remember we used to wear paper costumes.
Oh.
Because Sybil Smith was the
Yes.
costume maker.
Right.
And because they were only ever seen once and they weren't going to be sat in, it's why I still have a trouble sitting in clothes anywhere because
Yes.
I've got this training that you can't sit in a costume. But we used to have costumes made of crepe paper. She'd whip it up on the
No.
sewing machine.
Wow.
Worn once in the rubbish bin.
Well, because they would have leaked colour and everything all over you.
Well, yes, they
Yeah.
would have.
Yeah,
did.
you wouldn't want to
No,
work
you
up a
wouldn't.
sweat.
No, you
No.
wouldn't. Or anything else.
Or anything else,
Out of
exactly.
nervousness. Nothing at all.
Wow.
But seriously, have you ever thought how many...
No, because it would be scary. You know, I mean, I was 20 when I started in 1965, so, you know.
But a lot of the footage of you is also, you don't have it. Right?
No.
But
Well,
you've
everything
got a-
was live.
You've got
Absolutely, everything was live.
She's got the interview with Robin Williams.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
That was a good
Have
one.
you got the interview with the James Bond?
Who was James Bond? Oh, yeah, Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce
Yes.
Brosnan on the bed.
We're lying on the bed because the room they gave us in the hotel he was staying at had no chairs, no couch, just a bed. I wasn't stupid. I said, let's take advantage of that. And I said, I've just recently become a deserted wife. And so he opened the bottle of red wine that I'd given him as a gift. And he lay down there in his black Armani suit. And I thought, I don't care. I hope the ex is seeing this.
Shaken or stirred.
Yes. And then a
Exactly.
couple of months later, I saw him at the Logies. He went, "G'day." He couldn't remember my name, but he remembered my face. I thought that, bravo.
I like the fact they called you Mrs. Willis at one point.
Yes. Oh, God, I've had everything.
How many Academy Awards have you been to?
27.
Wow.
I wanted to write the book.
Do you wish you were there this year?
No.
No.
Keep my wife's name.
I interviewed Will Smith, and so now I'm thinking that was a good act when you interviewed him because maybe it's a real person that we saw, you know. But where was security? Why was he not just taken out of the room, you know?
You've got to ask, it is Hollywood after all, you've got to ask yourself, how real was it?
That's another thing.
We're still talking about it.
Exactly.
I know.
Exactly.
I think he must
Was his
regret
star
it.
waning? Did he need to?
Well, he was about to win Best Actor, so I don't know if it was waning that night.
No, it's waning outside now, but... you know.
Boom, 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 boom. Did that come from Adelaide Tonight?
It's waning, men.
Yeah, no, we didn't have jokes on Adelaide Tonight, no. But
Well, we did, the sketch we did.
Yeah.
Matt, so you're writing every week?
I am.
Where does the information come from? Because
all over. I mean,
being a gossip columnist, though,
yes.
it's very broad, your gossip, because I actually read your column every week.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. You kind of meet people from all different walks of life, sport people, arts people. But a lot of it is, a lot of it are people that I deal with, in the entertainment world as well. So, that's
Do
what
people
I
give
enjoy
you
about it.
tips? Is that how it happens?
Yes. So
or
you've
I
got
make
one.
up stuff and I'll ring him. Yeah.
But is it, do you hear about
Yes,
on the...
yes.
There's a little bit of that. Yeah, you can't really do that in Adelaide too much because, of course, 4 days later you're going to see whoever you've thrown under the
You
bus
can't
on
do
Sunday.
that.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
have
difficult,
been,
though? Because, you need to be controversial, really.
Yeah, but you can do it in a way that's
Yes.
entertaining.
That's still
fun.
pleasant.
as well. I've been, on a Sunday morning going up Mount Lofty and Graham Corns has been going down and I've been going up and he's almost thrown me off the edge. But that's, But we have a laugh, so that's
Well, we're all become a bit precious, I think.
Yeah.
The way things are at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. Our floor manager over there is giving us the wind up yet again.
Speaking
and we
of
could
precious.
just keep talking. We will after this.
Hi, I'm Henry Longer, and congratulations to Malcolm and the crew in getting to 500 episodes. Fantastic effort. And look out for me in a couple of weeks when I'll be on the show.
I'm Chris Messenger from Bugs and Slugs, and I want to say a big congratulations to Malcolm and all the crew on 500 episodes of Our Time, and thanks for letting me bug you.
What a momentous hour we've just spent with the wonderful Anne Wills.
Thank you.
No, thank you very
No,
much. It's
my
been just
pleasure.
lovely to talk to you.
Thank you.
In this program, because we've known each other for a long time.
Yes.
And without you, television wouldn't be the same. 19 Logie winner.
Oh, thank you. And I'm very embarrassed now, but thank you.
The lovely Lauren Hillman, thank you for keeping Adelaide television alive and for what you've done again with Melbourne to make this happen.
Well, thank you, Malcolm. And it's an honour to be here tonight with all the television royalty. So thank you very, very much.
No, thank you. And Matt, what can I say? Kev said it.
Short, because we've only got a minute
I've said
segment,
it.
so, you know, we're getting looks already.
So thank you very
My
much.
pleasure, thank you. And
In
what
all
an honour,
seriousness.
500 episodes.
No, but it's also an honour to have you not being the other fella and being you.
Well, he will cost, so, you know, I'm here on your budget.
Thank you very much
You're
for that.
welcome.
And thank you for supporting community television. We'll be back next week with a brand new group of guests. So until next time on Our Time, thanks again to everyone that's been on the program. Thanks to you for watching, and thanks to all of the people that have made it very possible to bring this program to you this time. So a big round of applause to all of them as they join us.
Thank you.
And look, here's everybody who has made the program on and off for the last however long we've been doing this. It's 500 episodes. Our director is there. Where?
Yes,
here he
coming.
comes, rushing in. Our
Yay.
studio manager.
Here they are.
Everyone's rushing in. And we have these lovely cakes that you've provided.
Oh my God, look at this! That's going to give you a bit of diabetes.
Thank you. And also these that you made specially for us. Look at that. Thank you, everybody. It's just been great to have you as our guests and you as our crew for the last 12 years. It's been just wonderful. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you to you for being part of Our Time. Until next time, keep yourselves nice till then. Bye, everyone.
Should we light it up?
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Where's the match?
Oh, fantastic.